What's up, big baller shot callers? This is Big Ken. Welcome from the Grid to Rim Sports Talk Show. Joined by my co-host Monty Brown. Whew.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, people? We're back for another great show. Man, a lot happened this weekend, Monty. Another crazy week in football for both college and NFL.
Yeah,
Couple of good college games. You know, Penn State, Ohio State, Utah, USC was a crazy finish at the end.
yes.
Tennessee, Alabama was interesting. A game of halves.
Wow.
And then
Oklahoma almost lost.
Oklahoma almost lost against
Wow.
UCF. Yeah, that was a crazy.
Wow.
They almost got upset. That would have been a big upset. And,
Yes.
Minnesota, Kirk Cousins looked good on Monday Night Football against the 49ers, and we got a Bears backup quarterback from a D2 school winning some games, and Buffalo
Yeah.
getting upset by Patriots. Man, it's been a crazy week in college and the NFL.
Yes.
So yeah, let's start off with some college football, Monty.
Wow, man. Well, I don't know if you heard about this. A little bit of breaking news. We talked a little bit about Michigan last week with illegal recruiting or illegal scouting, so to speak. Both you and I thought nothing would come of it. We didn't think anything was going on with it, frankly. Then I haven't heard anything else about it until one of my friends, who is also a Michigan fan, she was telling me about one of the recruiting coaches that Michigan suspended on their own a couple of days ago. I'm not sure on the details, how long he suspended, but he's one of their analysts. And what he did was he brought and distributed tickets for future opponents that they're going to play, which is illegal in the NCAA. I didn't know that. According to this bylaw, and I got this from NCAA.com, it's prohibited to do any off-campus in-person scouting for future opponents in the same season. And that's what, yeah, that's weird. That's what they did. So Michigan did the right thing and suspended this guy on their own, hoping that the NCAA wouldn't look at it, but just saw a report today that, yeah, they're going to move on with the investigation. I don't know if it's making news or not. I'm not sure. I just saw it on Bleacher Report, but Michigan has a bye week this week, if I'm not mistaken,
They
so
do.
we may hear a little bit more about it. Who knows about Harbaugh, if there's any involvement, any knowledge, what have you. But yeah, that's what's going on. What do you think?
That's interesting. Did I hear that right? So they can't scout during the same season, but they can scout before the season. Is that what you're saying?
Off-campus, in-person scouting of future opponents during the same season.
So he went to their college.
Yes. Sign stealing, which what we talked about, that's not necessarily illegal, but I guess filming during that time, you can't use film to steal signs at that time if I'm translating this correctly. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's
I think I know what you're saying. They're allowed to watch film on them. They're allowed to watch film on them, like everyone
yes,
does. Like I said, high schools do it here, but he can't be there like filming them and being at their campus during a game. That's why
yes,
I'm taking it that he went to one of their games early in the year. Like, hey, I'm going to go to their game next week and see what these guys are doing, and they're not allowed to
yeah,
do that. But they can get
yeah,
game tapes other ways,
yes,
So it's all over how you get these game tapes. I know how we get the game tapes because all the coaches here have a website they go to called Huddle, and
yes,
all the games are on Huddle. So colleges have similar things. So because one of our officials is a D3, one of our senior officials is an official for D3 football around this area. So he might know.
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to ask him about that because I know they have game tapes they watch because
Yeah,
we watch the game tapes from a referee point of view, like how we can do things better, like things that we missed during game. I watch all my tapes. Oh, I missed that holding. Oh, that could have been a block in the back. That was a block in the back. That's what
yes,
I'm looking for. So yeah, but coaches obviously it's a whole different thing when you're trying to win a game. But
right.
yeah,
So
I didn't think anything of it early on, but this is getting weird. I still don't know if it's a witch hunt or they're actually or is Michigan actually really doing things wrong. I don't know.
right,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't understand why this is illegal anyway. It seems like
Yeah, I know they're going to get the
whatever it
tape
takes.
anyway, whether you're there
Yeah,
in the season or you go to whether like I said, the website people go to, like we go to.
right.
There's websites for colleges. There's got to be websites because there's websites for high school games here, and we have small schools in here. We only have 2A, 3A schools in where I live at. They're not big powerhouses like in Texas, like these 5A, 6A school powerhouses. I mean, yeah, so and they have game tape on each other, just these average size schools, So I don't think anything. I don't
Yeah,
think it's crazy, man. But if
yeah.
it,
So
I don't know, man.
yeah, well, it says he bought and distributed tickets to games of future opponents for the sole purpose of the coaching staff or stealing signals from the coaching staff. So I guess the signal stealing isn't illegal, but doing it in that manner is.
Yeah, if
I
they
don't
knew,
know.
well, it's not a big deal. But if they knew the rule and they decided to break it anyway, then they're wrong.
Right, right,
I don't think it's a huge rule break where people need to get fired and people need to get
right.
suspended for long periods of time, but they could investigate. They had no choice to investigate, I guess, because everyone's
Yeah,
making a big deal about this. So they got to do some kind of investigation. But I still hope nothing comes out of it. Let's keep on peeling the onion back more, and they just keep on finding more and more things wrong with
yeah,
Michigan.
yeah,
So
yeah. Michigan's undefeated right now, and this is the last thing they need. Um, if they want to stay undefeated.
yeah,
So yeah, yeah.
they have a tough road coming up, but I think
Hmm.
they'll get through it. Um, they have Penn State and Ohio State the last two games of the year.
Yes. Oh
So
yeah,
right
yeah.
now, they're favored to win because Penn State and Ohio State's offenses aren't very good right now. But a lot of things could change. There's still a lot of football to go, and Michigan cannot underestimate those games. So
Right, right, right. After this bye week, they have Purdue, which yeah, Purdue's down this year, but historically they're good and they could
yeah,
play anybody anytime. So yeah, who knows?
yeah, Purdue was really good last year. They played Michigan in the Big Ten Conference Championship.
Yeah,
And you went to Miguel's house to go to our Cowboys game. I think we were
that's
watching
right.
half of that game.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, man. Well, we'll see what happens, man. I'm glad you updated us on that, Monty, because I didn't know about that today. I got an alert on my phone for ESPN. I don't know if it was about that, but maybe it was. Yeah, I thought things were kind of dead in the water, but we'll see
Yeah. Yeah. So did I. So I saw that. I was like, wow, how about that? Something else happened. But we'll
Yeah.
see.
Wow. Wow. Well, we'll tell you more people in the future. We'll see what happens. What are your thoughts on this, viewers? Like, do you think it's a big deal, or do you think they're just going after this guy? So
Yeah. 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 Let us
we,
know.
we want to know your thoughts on this. Um, let's talk about Penn State, Ohio State. I saw that game. It was pretty much a defensive struggle most of the game, but Ohio State
Mhm.
did get it going on offense in the second half. Marvin Harrison Jr. had a huge game, 11 catches, like
Yes.
160, 170 yards, couple of touchdown catches. He's the one that pretty much single-handed, I won't say single-handedly, but he was the main weapon for Ohio State winning this game. But
Yeah.
but Penn State's offense is really struggling. They have a good defense. Their defense kept them in the game for a long time, but they have a really young quarterback, and I think he's going to be okay in the future. But he's kind of learning the hard way in some of these really hard Big Ten games of what it's like to be,
Mhm.
a Big Ten quarterback, a big major D1 quarterback. So I think he'll be okay. I think he's only like a freshman or sophomore. I think he'll be okay in the future, but he's trying to figure things out playing against really good teams like Ohio State, Michigan,
Mhm.
other teams that have really good defenses that can really slow you down. So, but Ohio State's offense still isn't completely on track. Like their offense is usually their strength. Like I said last show, but this year it seems like their defense is their strength, and usually their defense is pretty weak. So I'm kind of surprised with how good Ohio State's defense is this year. What's your
Yeah.
take on
Both defenses. Yeah.
it?
Both defenses were good. I liked how Kyle McLeod from Ohio State played. I mean, I didn't know much about him until I watched this game. I mean,
The quarterback,
he,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. He and
good,
Harrison have that connection, man. It seems like he threw to him every time, but
yeah,
Harrison's just on another level. I mean, he might be the first receiver taken in the draft or one of the first taken, who knows? But yeah, good defensive game all around, and Ohio State's proved that they were way better.
yeah. They're better. Penn State got the one score late, and they tried an onside kick, but Penn State took. Ohio State took a 2-score lead. Yeah, like 20-6.
Mhm.
It was like late in the fourth quarter. Everyone kind of knew it was game over. So yeah. Utah USC was crazy. USC was down 28-14, but then they have 17 unanswered points to go ahead 31-28 with only like a minute to go in the game or so. Because that kickoff, the punt return made a great kickoff, got all the way down to like inside the 10-yard line. Then they scored one. Then Caleb Williams ran the ball in one play later for their go ahead touchdown to be up, 31-28, whatever it was. But then Utah got the ball back and they got that game winning field goal in the end, like a 45-yard kick. So that was a clutch kick in the closing seconds of the game. I know the one USC defensive player got kicked out of the game, got ejected, which got them 15 yards down the field to help them get in the field. They still weren't quite in field goal range, but he got them like about the midfield. But what was crazy about that is even though he did that penalty, it looked like Utah was kind of dead in the water. It was like 3rd and long, and then that quarterback broke off that like 25-yard run to get down like to the 25.
Oh yeah,
and that put him in field goal range. That was like the backbreaker. I don't think it was that guy getting kicked out of the game. Obviously, that didn't help.
No.
It got them.
No, that run killed him.
The run killed him. Yeah, that run, that late scramble, man. They just lost contain on him, and he burned them, man. Yeah, and then that guy made a clutch kick right down the middle, like no nerves at all, man. And it was a 45-yarder, I think. So, of course, it's very makeable for D1 for 45 yards, but people do miss when you get past the 40-yard range. I think kickers get a little bit dicey sometimes, especially on clutch kicks. So I thought it was good that I thought it was pretty cool that he made a 45-yarder for a clutch for the game winner. So yeah, crazy game. I saw the very end of the game. I don't know if you watched the whole thing, but I just saw the last couple minutes of the game.
I hate to sound like a broken record, Ken, but what have we been talking about the past couple of weeks about
USC's defense?
USC's defense, and it came back to bite them again. Like I said before, and every time they face these top 25 teams, they're going to have trouble. And Utah's that power team, 2 opposite teams, and they just couldn't. They haven't stopped anybody all season yet. And
not significantly, not all the way. Yeah. They have stretches where they're okay, but then they fall apart again. They haven't had a good game all around on defense. You're right. Yeah. They have no, but we it was their problem last year, and it's their problem this year. It was their problem for a while, actually. So they got the offense, but they've had no defense for a long time. It's going to kill them again. They're out of the playoffs this year. They got their second loss.
Yeah, that knocked them out right there.
They're done. Yeah, they're done. Tennessee, Alabama.
Oh, wow.
Tennessee had a great first half, up 20-7 at halftime. Second half, they just come out and do nothing. Alabama scores 27 unanswered points to win 34-20. I was disappointed. I was really disappointed in Tennessee in the second half. You got to give credit to Alabama for making the adjustments, but Tennessee should have been able to make adjustments on the fly too and figure out something on their offense. When it was 27-20, I almost thought Tennessee still had a chance to tie the game because they got the first couple first downs. It looked like they were moving. I was like, good, okay, they might tie it. But then I think he had a fumble. I think they got the fumble sack. They got the fumble and he ran in for a touchdown. So it was a strip sack fumble for a touchdown. That was the game, man. So
yeah. No, Alabama's defense had Tennessee on lock that whole second half. What's his name? Milton for Tennessee. He was even their leading rusher.
Yeah. It's not good. Your quarterback's your leading rusher. Yeah.
He threw for 270-something yards, 2 touchdowns, and I think almost 60 yards rushing. And they had everybody else on lockdown. Yeah, everybody on lockdown. So that's typical Alabama. We talk about them being, down for Alabama standards, but man, it seems like for whatever reason except for I think last year they get up for Tennessee pretty well, and this defense is impressive. Yeah, Tennessee couldn't do jack that second half.
They could not do anything. I was disappointed. So yeah.
I
had a feeling it might happen, but I was hoping it wouldn't because when you're ahead at halftime and you're kind of like the underdog, it's almost like you don't want the game to end because when you're doing really well and you're a big underdog, you don't want you just want to keep on going. Sometimes that like 15-minute break just kind of messes everything up and then gets the other team back in the game. And you know what I mean? It kind of helps out the other, in some ways, it kind of helps out the other team. Like you don't want to stop the momentum you have, then it's like a momentum stopper kind of in a way. Like, at least to me, like when you got going, you want to keep going. Then if you're losing, you just want the first half to go with so you can regroup.
Right.
So it's kind of
get in there and make adjustments. Exactly.
yeah. So yeah, like that. I think this stopping that game has killed their momentum. But you still got to give credit to Alabama, and you got to fault Tennessee. They have to find a way to figure out what Alabama's doing against them, and they got to regroup themselves. I mean, there's halftime, but then there's in game. In from possession to possession, there's coaching moves. Like, okay, the first couple of possessions, they've been doing this, they've been stopping us. That's where the coaches got to figure things out, like in the middle of the game, not wait. You can't. You already had your halftime. Like, they stopped us a couple times in a row. Like they're doing something. They have to figure that out and tell the players, and then obviously the players have to execute. That's the main thing. Is like you can tell the players all day, but they still got to execute. So, but yeah, Tennessee's coaching staff, maybe their players just should have done better in the second half of the game to stop Alabama's momentum. But once Alabama's one of those teams that once they get going, they're kind of hard to stop. So yeah, you got to keep them down for as long as you can. Let's switch over to NFL. Oh my God.
Right.
I guess the first game I want to talk about is Kirk Cousins, man, on primetime. Man, he went off. He went off. He handed San Francisco 49ers their second straight loss after beating the crap out of our Cowboys. They've lost 2 in a row, so that's surprising. But they were playing in Minnesota. I knew Minnesota was better than the record, 2-4. Now they're 3-4, obviously, but it was still surprising. Even though I knew Minnesota was better than the record, I still expected San Francisco to bounce back from their loss against Cleveland, and they didn't. So that was the surprising thing, is their offense was kind of shut. I mean, their offense kind of got going in the second half, but they were pretty slow and off. San Francisco's offense was pretty slow in the first half that I saw. What do you think about that game, Monty?
I didn't get a chance to look this up, but one of the shows this morning, I think it was Keyshawn Johnson. The past couple of times these teams have met, Minnesota has given San Francisco trouble. I guess we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week, about matchups.
Yeah.
This has always been a tough matchup for San Francisco. Dallas has been a tough matchup for Minnesota. Dallas has always haven't had any trouble with Minnesota the past 3 seasons. So yeah, that's weird. I know that Deebo Samuel was out. I think Purdy was hurt. I know he's on concussion protocol now. Samuel was out. They started off with a fumble to begin with, a McCaffrey fumble.
Yeah.
And Minnesota went back and scored. So, yeah, they're human. They're beatable. I didn't expect them to lose this game. Man, Kirk Cousins won a national television game for once, which he hardly ever does. That surprised me. But, yeah, he balled out. He's a quarterback that'll throw 400 yards, and he'll throw 4 touchdowns this week. Who knows? But
yeah,
he balled out. He balled out this week.
He's balled out in other primetime games. They just find ways to lose the game somehow. But he's always had lately. He's had good stats. Early in his career, he was pretty bad in these games, like you said. But the last 4 or 5 games, he's been really good. I was commenting on on their earlier game against Philadelphia on Thursday Night Football. He threw for over 400 yards and they still lost, but they couldn't stop Philadelphia's run because Minnesota's run defense was horrible the game. Like, Philly was just been doing what they've been doing all year long, just eating clock with that run game. But Kirk Cousins kept on bringing them back, and they kept on staying in the game.
Yeah.
So, but I'm finally glad. I'm just glad Kirk Cousins finally got a big primetime win. And
yeah. So I'm happy to see it.
I liked his interview. I like I said, I just started liking Kirk Cousins, like I said in an earlier show when I watched that Netflix series on that NFL quarterback, wherever it was called. I really liked that series.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't crazy about him before that, but when I watched that Netflix thing, I'm like, I like this guy. I like what he's about. So
yeah, he's
I'm
happy.
I'm happy for him. Bears backup quarterback Tyson Bagent from a D2 school called Shepherd wins the game against the Raiders backup quarterback. And the Raiders backup quarterback has been playing forever. I can't think of his name. I had it written down, but he's been a backup for a long time. Brian Hoyer.
Right, Hoyer. Yeah, he's not bad.
He's not bad at all.
Games.
He's been a starter. He's been a starter at times off and on through his career, and he's been a good backup. So I was surprised that he got beat out by a D2 guy, but obviously now this guy is all over the news, being D2, coming from nowhere, winning his first ever NFL start. That's pretty cool, man. So
man, he might be this year's Brock Purdy. Who knows?
Yeah, he might be. I mean,
wow.
Here's the thing I gotta ask. I don't think this is gonna happen. But if old boy Justin Fields is out for a couple more games and this guy keeps on winning, do you think they would keep him in? I don't think so, because I don't think he's no Justin Fields. But if he wins a couple more games, will they? Do you think there will be some quarterback controversy?
If something happens where they're in the playoff hunt, I mean, will the real Detroit Lions please stand up? They got their butts handed to them.
Oh man, we predicted them to. We both predicted them to lose, but not like that.
Yeah. So, man, Green Bay's iffy. If they can make a run and make that division interesting, and he's leading the charge, you might want to keep him in there. You might want to keep that hot hand in there. Who knows? If that was me, if that's the case, you should leave him in there.
I don't know how long Justin Fields is out, though. Is he out for a while where this guy has a really big chance to start like 4 or 5 games in a row and get them back in the hunt?
No, I don't know the extent of his injury either. I don't believe it's supposed to be that long, but I'm not 100% sure either.
Yeah. That's interesting. I want to say same thing about the Giants quarterback, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, but hats off to Tyson Bagent, though.
Yeah.
Next game, Buffalo got upset by the Patriots. I had a feeling I knew I should pick the Patriots, but on our show we both picked Buffalo because we both said Patriots were just in a downward slide. But I had a feeling that they would finally balance back somehow, especially home. And I knew I should have changed my mind, but I didn't. So I got to stick with my decision. I said Buffalo would win, but man, Mac Jones finally had a good game. He had a really good rookie year to get them in the playoffs, and then last year he tailed off a little bit, and this year he's really been tailing off. But I like him. I personally like him. I know Patriots fans probably can't stand him; they want his head. But I like Mac Jones. I think I think in the long run, somehow, some way, I think he'll be okay. At least I hope so. What do you think about that game? What do you think about Mac
Buffalo's? Well, I have a friend that she picks games for the week, and that was one of the quote unquote obvious ones. And I told her, nope, stay away from that one. That's a rivalry game. You never know. I mean, I'm going to pick Buffalo, but I said, don't touch it. And
you're right.
She listened to me and she didn't do it. And because you never know. And Buffalo is so unpredictable. That defense is just terrible. Josh Allen, you never know which one's going to show up from week to week. But I expected them to win that game. But, Belichick's still a good coach. He finds ways to win.
Well, Buffalo came storming back. They were down 22-10. Then they scored 15 extra points to go up 25-22. Then, but the Patriots got the last laugh because Mac Jones got him in. There was 10. He threw the go-ahead touchdown pass with under 10 seconds to go, basically almost like the last play of the game or close to the last play of the game. I don't know if it was on 3rd or 4th down, but they're only down by 3, 25-22, so it couldn't have been 4th down. They would kick the field goal if that was the case to go into overtime. So I guess it was in one of the earlier downs where he got the game-winning, touchdown. So still, man. But you're right. It is a rivalry game. Man, Tyrod, before we get into this week's picks, Tyrod Taylor played pretty well too. Well, they only won 14-7 against the Commanders. That was another game I didn't know which way to go on that one. We were both having a hard time deciding that one, but Tyrod Taylor looked good. I don't think though there will be quarterback controversy there. I still think that Jones will take over when he comes back.
Tyrod Taylor's not a bad quarterback. When he played at Buffalo, he wasn't that bad. So he's a good he could start for any team that needs a quarterback, and he's a serviceable backup. He's not bad at all.
Yeah, he got Buffalo to the playoffs several years ago. He's had some success as a starter. There's no doubt about that. I think I know they're still kind of trying to figure out Daniel Jones, but I think he'll be okay. He's got a lot of talent too. His his stats are good. Like his completion percentage is good, but for some reason the Giants just have no offense, man. That's just the
Right.
main thing. They need to get better receivers.
Yeah.
They got Saquon Barkley when he's healthy, but they need his better receivers and everything. And they just need to revamp their offenses completely, man.
Yeah. Yeah. The offensive line's terrible. They've been
they're
building
horrible.
that line as long as I've known.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're bad. All right, let's get into some picks. Bucks at the Bills tonight. Do you think the Bills will bounce back? Both teams have dropped a couple of games lately. The Bucks lost last week also. I think they've lost 2 games in a row now. So what's your pick on that one? That's a hard one. It's at the Bills.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Tampa Bay can beat them. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but no, overall the better team. You got Diggs, you got Josh Allen. I think they're Kincaid, their starting tight ends. Not too bad. I know they had
He's on my
Knox
fantasy team. He's really good. He helped me. He helped me tremendously last week. Helped me win.
Yeah,
he
he's good. I think their backup Knox was their starter last year. I believe he's out for tonight. But no, I still expect Buffalo to win this game tonight. I would pick Buffalo.
I'm picking Buffalo too. Yeah, I don't think they'll lose 2 in a row. If they do, that'll be more talk for next week.
Yeah,
but, I think the Bills will bounce back and improve their record to 5-3. Jets at the Giants. God, that's a hard one. 2 New York teams going at it. Jets are playing better, but Giants did come off they got Tyrod Taylor got his 1 win, so they might be kind of hot. But I think I'm still picking the Jets. The Jets got a better defense. I like the way their quarterback Zach Wilson's playing out. I think I got the Jets. But we'll be surprised if the Giants won, though.
Yeah. The Jets defense is one of the better defenses in the league, top 5 easily. Like you mentioned, quarterback's playing a lot better. Brees Hall, he's been balling now. I think Dalvin Cook, who's the backup, he's not even playing. I mean, now that Brees Hall's healthy, he's getting all the carries. So, yeah, I would think the Jets are the better team. So I would pick the Jets as well.
Jags at Steelers, another tough one. Jags are playing really good ball. Steelers surprised me with the win last week. I thought the Rams would beat them, and they won 24-17 or something like that. So Steelers are finding ways to win. Their offense still isn't quite clicking, but their offense did play better last week. Some weeks they were completely atrocious, horrible, but last week they did good enough to win 24-17. So that's another tough one. Can the Jags win at Pittsburgh? Oof.
I got Pittsburgh. Every time I pick against them, they win.
Yeah.
Oh man, this will be a good game to watch, man.
This is gonna be a real good one.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm going Pittsburgh on this one.
Oh my God, I want to go Pittsburgh, but I'm just gonna play devil's advocate and go Jags. See what happens.
Right. Yeah, it's possible.
I like what Trevor Lawrence is doing. Them going to London really seem to help them out. They won back-to-back weeks in London. They won again the next week, so they seem to have it going on right now. Eagles at Commanders. I got Eagles. I'm picking a lot of away teams, but I don't think the Commanders are going to beat the Eagles, man. So
yeah, NFC rivalry, but they may split. I don't know, but yeah, the way the Eagles looked against the Dolphins the other day, man, I'm not going to.
They look good, real good. They bounced back nicely, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to win this one.
All right, our boys, Rams at Cowboys. Of course, I'm finally picking a home team, our Cowboys. They better win. Rams aren't as good as they used to be, but they're still very dangerous. You can't take them lightly because they have Matthew Stafford, and they got Cooper Kupp and that rookie receiver Nakua just going off. So I'm still gonna pick the Cowboys defense on this one. Hopefully our offense finally figures it out, man. I'm getting tired of our offense is sucking, but we did win a close one against Chargers 2017, so we found a way. I'm glad we found a way to win a close game.
Jerry Jones, if you're listening, and I know he's not listening, go out and get Derrick Henry, please.
Yes,
he's available.
We need a running back. Yeah, running game hurting bad. Pollard needs another partner. You're right.
Man, he's available. Trading deadlines next Tuesday.
Yes,
he's out there.
I can't agree.
Go get the man, and let's give us a chance to get to the Super Bowl. And
yes, I am with you.
Put that ego away. That ego away, please.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes. Put the ego away, Jerry. You've been killing us for 30 years. Put it away. Put it away, Jerry.
And I got Dallas for this game. But yeah, maybe that move for getting rid of Elliott was a mistake. I mean,
Yeah, I think it might have been.
yeah.
Vikings at Packers. Ah,
Oof.
I'm picking another away team. I think the Vikings are going to do it. Kirk Cousins is hot right now. I think they'll do it, man. But
Yeah.
Packers could come back with their young quarterback. He got the good start in the first 3 or 4 games of the year, but he's tailed off a little bit. So Packers fans, let's hold on. I know you're probably getting impatient, but I think, oh boy, is going to be okay. This year he's just going to go through some growing pains. So, but I got the Vikings.
I like how Addison stepped up, man.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
had a huge
3
game. He had
touchdowns.
a huge game.
2
Yeah.
touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. So yeah, he stepped up big. So yeah, I like the Vikings as well.
Okay. Let's get to the last 2 games since we're almost down to a minute. Unfortunately, to skip through a lot of them, but let's get Bears at Chargers Sunday Night Football. I got Chargers. I think Chargers will bounce back. They have their really good quarterback, and they got they got good receivers. They got that running back. I can't remember what his name is, but he's like Christian McCaffrey. Like
Austin Eckler. Austin
Eckler. I think Chargers will bounce back after a tough loss. So I think I got.
So do I. I got the Chargers. Yeah, they should win that game.
And then Raiders at Lions. I got the Lions. I think Lions will bounce back big time too. And I don't know what the heck the Raiders. Raiders need to fire that coach McDaniels. I don't think he knows what the heck he's doing. So Raiders need to get rid of that guy.
Yeah, after getting that slacking, I think the Lions should win this game big.
Yep. Well, all right, folks. It was a quick one today, but thanks for watching and subscribing like always. And we'll be back next week. We'll talk about our picks and talk about some other stuff that we want to talk about, whatever's going on in the sports world.
Yes, we got basketball and World Series tomorrow, so we'll see what's going on. Maybe we'll talk about that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right, have a good night, people. Peace.